Scattered knowledge and outdated documentations are the real pain points of many organizations. I've seen the organizations struggling with the collaboration between the teams on sharing the knowledge and the documentations. In these organizations, the left hand is unaware of what right hand is doing. To solve these problems, the enterprises use the documentation tools. These documentation tools are like Azure Wiki, GitHub Wiki, Confluence, and Notion. These are some of the popular tools. Apart from that, we have many third-party tools to solve these problems of sharing the knowledge of the projects. These documentation tools provide a centralized, version-controlled space for the real-time collaboration. If you need a central place to document your projects, share the knowledge, and collaborate across the teams, then this video is for you. My name is Navneet Kumar, and I am a Microsoft certified trainer. The learning objectives of this video are: what is Azure Wiki? We will see how do we create a wiki, organizing the content, editing and collaboration, finally the tips for better wiki use. Well, the Azure Wiki is a markdown based documentation tool that lives right inside the Azure DevOps projects. It's perfect for maintaining the project documentations, onboarding guides, meeting notes, and more. That all is version controlled. If you have the new team members joining the project, then they will easily access all this information through this project wiki in Azure DevOps. As far as the creation of the Azure Wiki is concerned, we can do it in two different ways. We can create the project wiki directly, or we can publish the code as a wiki. You need to open your DevOps organization and the project. For an instance, this project is Phoenix Dev that I want to use, and I want to document the project details in a centralized manner. Here we see this option called wiki. Here we have two options: create project wiki or publish code as wiki. I can store this project inside the repository. I can go to the files. I can create the dedicated files, folders for this documentation. For an instance, I go to the ellipsis button and I name it as documents, then a new file name in this. For an instance, this is the sample file, and then I click create. Now this file has been created inside this folder. I can now edit this file directly, but before that I commit the changes and I store these changes into the main branch of my project. Now I can go to the project wiki where we have this option under the overview wiki, and then I have the option to create project wiki or publish the code as wiki. If I want to publish the code as wiki, then I need to select the repository, the branch where I want to keep it, and then the folders that I want to use. So I can select a folder from here. So this is the select a folder option, documents, then click OK. Now wiki name, this is, let's say, a demo wiki I'm creating, and finally I can publish it from here. Now I will be redirected directly to a markdown text where from I can provide the title for this page. For an instance, I call it Project Phoenix Dev. So I put this title in this. Now I can put the details in the markdown manner, which is, for an instance, hash for a header. This is a header. Then if you want to make subheader, then you can use the double hash. This is subheading. In this way, you can write your project with all the details. You can do the detailed documentation of your project in this markdown text. For an instance, I want to have my project documented this way. So this is the project detail about my Phoenix Dev project. Organizing the content is very important to structure your content. That you can do using the pages and subpages. You can link the topics together and use the clear titles to make the information easy to find for your team members. To visualize the workflows, you can use the Mermaid syntax. Mermaid is a text-based diagramming tool that lets you create the flowcharts, sequence diagrams, architectures, and many more using the simple markdown-like syntax. It is ideal for visualizing the processes and the systems directly in the documentation like the Azure DevOps Wiki. Use the Mermaid diagrams within a project wiki. So you can take your cursor wherever you want to add the mermaid diagram, and there is an option to insert the mermaid diagram. Inside this mermaid diagram, you can define that what sort of graph you need, be it left to right. So for an instance, if I load this diagram, so you will see this from left to right, it is displayed. Or you can define that you need it as a flowchart, something like this, about your project's high level architecture, how the users connect to the application, etc. And then you can load it over here. So there are different types of views that you can specify within this mermaid diagram. So user opens the app, user logs in, then redirects to the login page or loads the dashboard. So for this project, this is the mermaid diagram, defines the structure of this project or the architecture of this project. With inline editing, you can quickly update the content, set permissions so only the right people can make changes, and use the version history to track the edits and restore the older versions when required. To better use the wiki, use templates to keep the consistency, add the diagrams, tables, and even link the work items like the user stories or bugs for richer documentation. If I talk about the benefits of the Azure Wiki, your team can onboard faster, preserve the critical project knowledge, and collaborate more effectively. That all within the tools that you already use. Well, I hope this video was informative to you. Thanks for watching, and do subscribe the channel if you have not subscribed it yet.